Hi, we're Joel and Lia.
And today's video is all about British customer service. So we all know what customer service is. It's basically the service you receive in a shop, in a restaurant, over the phone, on like a helpline. We just want to talk about like the British versions of all of these things because it's very different, I think, from, say, American customer service.
Yeah, and from the comments on one of our other videos where we've mentioned that we as Brits find American customer service to be quite fake and quite like too sickly sweet, we've seen from the comments that Americans love that sort of customer service, and equally, we Brits love our customer service. So we just thought we'd have a little discussion about customer service and why, sort of us defending British customer service, but also we do acknowledge that they are very different standards. So I can see why Americans would think British customer service is bad. I totally get it. But I don't think it is bad. And if you're enjoying this, don't forget to click subscribe and the notification bell. We post videos 3 times a week and you don't want to miss it.
Let us know in the poll up here if you've had a negative customer service experience in the UK. I'd be interested to know. And also, please expand on that in the comments. That's what it's there for. Start discussion. We're going to respond to everyone. Everyone. Joel,
it's a
everyone.
big commitment.
Big commitment. I'm going to start this off with like throwing a question in. And I know I always talk about like money and tipping. But do you think if British people were told that if they got like 3 compliments a day from management like that trickled down from customers, they'd get a money bonus, that they would try harder?
Probably. Or like in America, they rely on tips for their income.
For customer service.
Because they're paid such a low salary or wage or whatever the word is.
We've never had to rely on tips.
No. And I think if maybe British waiters, for example, did have to rely on that, maybe the service would be better. But I think that's so patronising. I've seen comments like that as well, being like, no, I'm paying for good service, so it ensures I'm getting good service, that the fact that they're relying on my tips. But I think in no other industry do we do that to people. I'm only going to pay you if you serve me correctly. Like someone working in Walmart being like, I'm only going to like pay you if you scan my items nicely. Like, or
they get tipped in Walmart?
No.
Good,
but that's what I mean.
Oh,
like,
okay, I get it now.
And or like someone working in an office, being a client, being like, well, I'm only going to pay you if you answer my emails within 20 minutes. And I'm like, it's so patronising that we've got this attitude that somehow waiting staff, just because they're seen as like less than other people, because it's an easy job, which I know it isn't easy, that they rely on tips. I just think it's a really horrible attitude to have.
Yeah. I know, definitely. And like whether I've worked in customer service, you've worked in customer service. When I've worked like in a clothes shop and in like it's like a big department store, no matter whether I was having a great day or a shocking day, or if I didn't care or if I cared, I got the same money regardless. That was, my wage was £10 an hour. Plus I got some travel money, like £7 travel there and back. So whether I was in a terrible mood with customers or whether I was up for chatting, I got £80 a day, which was an okay salary at like age 19. I was thinking, yeah, cool. And I took the piss, so to speak. I'd take long lunch breaks. I wouldn't come back. You know what? I wouldn't get found out. I kept a low profile. Which for me is hilarious because I'm such a bold extrovert. I'm in the room, I'm here. So for me to be sort of sneaking away was amazing. I'm proud of myself.
Exactly.
People were going to be like, you're a terrible worker. But that's not my job anymore, so that's why I'm able to talk about it.
Exactly. And I think we were just speaking about this, and I think Brits would agree that London customer service is probably slightly worse than the rest of the country.
Yes.
And we were saying we think it's because lots of people that do customer service are not wanting to be there. They want to be in other jobs. They've come to London to achieve their dream. And in order to achieve their dream, they've got to do this job in order to get there.
It's like what people say when they're in LA and they're like, you're going to meet Uber drivers who are actors. You're going to meet like waiters who are trying to be singers or doing this and that. And it's like so much like that in London. You meet so many artists, maybe like you're just like connected to them, but they're also just all here in London.
Oh, definitely.
You're going to meet them in these roles and they're just doing these roles and they've got no shame in calling up the morning of and saying, really sorry, I've got an audition, I'm not coming in. But this isn't something you could apply to the UK as a whole.
No.
Because then you've got like, so say the company I work for, they sent me to like a branch outside of London. Anyway, everyone there was older. They were all women that had been working there for like 25 years. They'd had the same job. They loved their job. They were so helpful. They had like, they were on name to name basis with some of the customers. And I was like just there on the beauty stand, just like counting the hours, like get me out of here.
Go home? So I think that's why London maybe is a bit worse. But also, I remember when I used to work in a theatre in the West End, I was an usher, like tearing tickets, selling ice cream. I loved it for like the first half a year or year. But,
I thought you were going to say half an hour.
For like half an hour, for the first half an hour,
I loved it. I
true.
genuinely thought you were going to be like...
the first half an hour, for 2.5 years I was there, but for the first half an hour...
I loved it.
I just think we've got different standards of customer service where our employers tend to give us, the employees, power. They're like... We don't have the motto that the customer is always right, or we certainly didn't
not
where
at
I
all.
worked. It was like, if a customer's rude to you, you fight back. Like, it's not like, take it from the customer.
Yeah, I always felt like management were on my side.
Yeah, same.
Like, they're like, hun, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
Like, the person you just dealt with was a idiot.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And like, we'd all be backstage.
Yeah.
We'd all be around the back just like slagging the customer off because we'd be like, they're so wrong. Like, as if that just happened.
Definitely. It's so fun. I remember selling programs, and like quite a few of the Americans would expect me to go to them so that they could buy a program from their seat, and I'm like, nah, I ain't walking over to you. And they'd like click their fingers, be like, wave at me, and I'm like, no, you come over here. Whereas I know
you're joking, you got clicked at. Like that.
And I'd be like,
I can't stand it.
I'm not coming to you. And like some of my colleagues would do it, and they'd like run over and they'd be like, yeah, what do you want? And I'm like, no, you come to me. I'm not coming to you. Like,
yeah, especially it's like in a busy theatre. You don't. How are you going to squeeze through the tiny little? I don't know if anyone's been in a London theatre, but like there's no leg room.
No.
Like Americans in a London theatre is like my idea of like comedy gold.
Yeah.
Because like it's just too.
It's so
too tight. Like
literally.
There's no room for anything. Like I'm tiny. I've got like 5'2" and I can just about fit in.
Yeah.
So how are you going to squeeze through those aisles and sell the programmes and take the money and then count the change?
And I just think I'm not about going above and beyond. I'm like, if my employer wants me to go above and beyond, then they need to pay me more. So I think Brits do have this sort of been brought up with some sort of self-importance that we're like, I don't care if I'm in customer service. Like, I'm not going to take any rubbish. I'm a human being.
Taking your I do remember I was in a theatre, I was watching a show, and a girl was selling ice creams on the side, and there was an old man in front of me, British, such a grumpy
So and so.
And the girl, it was clearly like she was just having a stressful day. He gave her cash, and she just, in that moment, could not figure out the change that she owed that guy. Which happens from a £20 note. She just couldn't figure out in that moment, like £3.80 away from £20. And like it just took her like a couple of seconds too long, and she froze up. And then the guy was just like, blah, 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 and said what the correct change was. Like, it's this. And I was thinking, you absolute... But
it's so horrible.
But no one said it. None of us in the queue said anything because we're all British. None of us went like, that was so out of order. Like, don't be such a dick. But you know, we were all thinking it. And then when I was served next by the girl, I was like, he was such an idiot. I'm so sorry you had to deal with him. And she was like, you know, you're just like. That's the thing. None of us would voice it, but we'd all be thinking the same.
Definitely.
Which I think is worth mentioning for customer service, because like if someone came in and they were like causing havoc, no one would say anything, but we'd get security involved if it needed it. Like no one would be like, sticking up for someone else.
Oh, especially because it's just like, it just feels above what you...
This is above me.
This is above me.
This is above me.
Security. But yeah, I think that's probably what it is. I think British people have a lot... And that's why I don't find British service bad, because lots of the time I just think, no, they're another human being. They're on an equal standing to me. Whereas I think the people who think that it's bad tend to be someone that's like, no, you're there to serve me. And they have that attitude of like...
deal with
I know,
that.
I can't.
I can't stand that attitude. I think that's why perhaps Brits maybe find... over-friendly customer service in America insufferable, because they're just like, be real with me. Would you just say hi to someone? Like,
who did we ask the other day? We asked someone that worked somewhere, a food place, I think. We were like, should we have this or this? Is this nice? And she's like, no, I don't like that.
Where were we?
White City House.
Yeah.
And we said, oh, is this one nice? She's like, no, I don't like that one.
Yeah, she was like, no, I don't like that pudding. Definitely get the matcha chocolate. And we were like, no, okay.
And I love that. I was like, great, you have an opinion.
Yeah, people with opinions.
Yeah.
That's it. Maybe, whatever company you work for, you're like, you might be told not to have opinions, or you might be told... maybe you shouldn't work there.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Be yourself.
And also the whole positive, negative politeness thing, like Americans tend to be positive politeness, like their version of polite is like being there and being friendly and being close, and like, whereas in Britain we have negative politeness where it's polite to like give each other space, to not really like engage too much with someone to be like, I'm giving, which is why
that's
in
literally
the UK,
what we're taught.
Yeah, we're taught not to like impose on anybody.
Absolutely.
And so I think like, for example, in America, it is a lot better that they bring you your bill straight away. They like preempt it. They come to your table. They're always present. But in the UK, the reason they don't do that is because they're like, I don't want you to feel rushed. I don't want you to feel imposed upon. Like, I'm not going to ask you if you're having a nice time, because if you're not having a nice time, you'll probably call me over anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just a different mindset.
I'd hate to feel like you're getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Like, if they bring you the bill, then for me, I mean, that's great. In America, you're doing your job, you're bringing the bill, you're being efficient, but you just want this table clear so you can make some more money from the next person.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's just like, they'll sort of stroll over. They might just say, do you fancy any pudding or anything? Or they might just sort of not ask, you know what I mean? You just sit there until you ask them for something.
Yeah.
Unless the queue is out of the door, they're not going to move you.
No, they're not. So I think those are the main differences.
Yeah.
We've spoken a lot. This is obviously very passionate.
We're very passionate about this. But, I mean, when I did work on a beauty stand inside a department store, and if people came over to that stand and started looking at products and testing stuff, I would say, hiya, let me know if you need any help. But I'd wait for them to like have tried stuff. I won't just, as soon as they come over, like before they've even touched something, I won't go like, hiya, let me know, because that scares them off and they run away and then they don't buy anything. But if I just smile and they come over, and then if they do come over, I'll kind of almost like walk away a little bit, just a tiny bit to like a different side, let them like do their thing, and then say, let me know if you need any help with the colours or anything. Honestly, it works so much better in the UK. You might think that's absurd, like customer comes over, I walk away, but that is honestly how it works.
Oh yeah, because Brits don't like to feel watched.
No, I can't stand it. If I'm going up to like a little makeup shade and trying something, and someone's like, hiya, like let me know, I'm like, literally get out of my space. I can't handle you. Get out of my way.
Yeah. So that's why Brits might come across as less attentive in customer service. It's not because they're less attentive, it's because they're like
more
respecting
attentive.
your... Yeah, exactly. They're like, no, if I interrupt you, you're going to feel like this. And maybe we overthink things. We probably overthink
We're
things too much.
We're overthinkers, but we know how to deal with Brits.
Yeah. I was saying to you the other day, hospitality, for me personally, I could not... Because I've worked in it for about 5 years, I'm like, I could not do it. I have no passion for like making sure other people have a really nice time. Like... You know, there's
apart
people
from
that
our
are just
YouTube viewers.
Apart from our YouTube viewers. No, well that's good. I want to make sure you guys have a good time. But you know what? When you're at a party and like your job is to like serve canapé and to like make sure other people are host. Like some people are born hosts or hostesses, and I'm just not. I'm like I just can't.
I'm a mere guest.
I'm a mere guest. Like
at the party.
I will never have friends over to my house because I hate hosting. I think you've been to my house once.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I hate hosting. I would rather just
your new house?
Yeah.
I've been to your old houses. You know, we've lived all over London. I've visited everywhere. Yeah, but yeah. I don't blame you, hun.
No, I just hate hosting. I hate like being responsible for things. I'm just like, no.
I'm a terrible host as well, but it might come with age. And also, imagine when we live somewhere that we really like.
Yeah.
And then it's like, come in my nice kitchen.
Yeah.
Not come in my nice kitchen. Come into my nice kitchen.
Yeah.
On that note, that's the end.
Let's finish the video.
So as you guys can tell, we obviously feel really passionately about this subject. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know if anything triggers you.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure so many Americans disagree with our version of customer service. But hey,
I just remembered that we didn't even speak about telephone because that's a whole other video.
We worked in a call centre.
That's
if you want to see that video about our experience working in call centres, then let us know down below.
Oh my God.
We've done everything.
We've done it. Okay guys, thanks so much. Please like and subscribe. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.